Hey there guys, Reckon here, and welcome back to Let's Read Katawa Shoujo. In the last episode, not too much happened, I don't think. Kind of uneventful. So, yeah, let's just get on to this one. And after I wonder if I should do the joke or not. Because it sounds so stupid, but, well, because it is, really. It just is stupid. So, I guess there's not much I can do about that. But yes, let's go. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the staircase, or at the top of the stairs, it's so good, not even a minute in and I've already messed something up. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wondered who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Ren'Py shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Jeez, I can't imagine who that could be. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Ren'Py flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Eek! Hello. Yipes! You scared me, Ren! Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Ren is speaking to me, Ren'Py looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Ren. Did I really just do that? Fuck. Ah, god damn it. At Ren. She's that friend of yours? Ren has turned her gaze... That doesn't even sound right. I'm pretty sure it was the proper words, just didn't sound right. God damn it. This is annoying me now. Ren has turned her gaze toward the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Ren'Py. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Ren'Py lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited us out for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few run-down benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. Again, you can't... I don't know if it's just America in general, but you can't just go up on the roof. Like, in the high school and middle school I went to, the roof was always... was locked doors. Like, you saw, oh, roof access door. Don't go in there. You'll probably get expelled. And that just would have been amazing. It's like, what are you doing up on the roof? Katawa Shoujo. What does that mean? Expelled. Then they Google, it's like, oh, okay. Double expulsion. The small pebbles covering the roof rattled beneath her feet. I peeked through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school toward the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. A watchdog? I think they knew. Somehow, when I looked toward the town center, the small town feels... This is going to be common, I can already tell. It's going to be a lot of face palming because I can't read. Somehow, when I looked down... Oh my god! God damn it! Somehow, when I looked toward the town center and this... Fucking god! Somehow, when I look toward the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had time to think about how I feel about it. At feeling I messed that up too. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. It's one thing to read it, and it's another thing to read it properly in the context of everything else around it. Somehow I always mess something up. I don't know how it is. This episode's going fantastic so far. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Ren and Tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag. Come on, Sal, what are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I seat myself in the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Ren and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I'm making myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Ren deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of mouth. Hope you all heard that. A forkful. Might as well be a fuckful of food into her mouth using only her feet. I'm gonna skip that joke. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at our dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I wish I was good enough at editing that I could overlap those, but I'm not. I'm not good enough to do that. I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Ren seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Compliment each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we got all our limbs. Get it? Ah. So I started helping Ren get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Ren chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Ren is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms, so putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just going to stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. See, Hassan knows what's up, but of course I can't do that because it doesn't really save me trouble because I have to talk. I can't just upload this with no commentary, because that wouldn't be good. Because I mean, all you get out of this is me reading it. Some people don't even appreciate that. Then I get, when I'm gonna. Okay, that's cool. I hit a button. Ren nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Ren speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one tureen that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. I bet there's lemons in it. Okay. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Ren or Emmy, we'll just reverse that, it's fine, are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Ren especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Sal, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin. So, a kilowatt grin? Pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Ren and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding! I was kidding! I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay, too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration. That's the word. Declaration. You can't see the gestures I'm doing, but it would work. It would work, and I'm still doing the gesture for some reason, and I don't know why. I'm just going to keep doing while I read this line, completely distracting myself. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. Guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. Wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. How did that scene take 12.5 minutes? My god, that's a third of the episode right there. Amazing. Almost half. Like a sixth. 2/6. More like it. That's math right there. Is it really? I don't know. I don't know. Fantastic. High school graduate, took pre-calculus. Does not know if 13 minutes is a sixth of 30. It's not. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library and return a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. All the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I dropped the books, I burrowed them. Or he did. He burrowed them. He burrowed them, so he's putting them into the return slot on the counter. In the counter, actually. Not on it, in the counter. Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Oh, sorry, Yuko. Didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Well, can I help you? It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander to the fiction section toward the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. Though according to the image, she did notice that he was standing there, so... I don't know why I'm making a gesture again. This is not a face cam let's read, and it never will be. So, if you wanted that, disappointment, because you're not getting it. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decided on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. As I leap for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill toward the small town below. The color of her hair and the tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lilly. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more toward the source of my voice as she does. Miss Sal? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't do so. Just going into town. You? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. Ah, not lost, but worried. The two do seem pretty happy. I don't see how I saw that, but okay. My eyes are just amazing, that they see things that aren't actually there. Maybe I am like Kenji after all. I see things others do not see, for I see the encroaching threat of the feminists. I see things that others do not. I see past the fog. These eyes, Sasao, they see farther than any man before me. I see the threat of the feminists. I need to stop doing that. I'll get completely sidetracked and it'll be like half the video just a complete rant of Kenji. I can't. God damn it, I love the Kenji voice. God damn it. Okay, I've completely derailed. Ah, not lost, but worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lilly like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereft of cars and the students of Yamako increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement, to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess. Yamaku's kind of different, though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it in time, though. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding along with Class 3-2 in Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one can see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. Guess that's a good take on it. Walking on out in the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So, where in town were you going? It's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around to see what I could find, but with sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to have to ask her for directions. Again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mentioned it, I don't really know that way. Well, now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again, then. Thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. Hey look, the 7-Eleven. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objectives. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanukkah would help me, but seeing as she's not here... It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lilly. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting the pin and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it back up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Ah, sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lilly and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for, and put our items in the respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanukkah follow every Friday. Alright, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lilly? No, this should be everything. Off we go, then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we've both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lilly retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upward at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leading me to my tube. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. She's breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. She's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. Guess the festival preparation must be taking a toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way toward us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Ren? What are you doing out here so late? Ren! Lilly pokes her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. Suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Ren. Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lilly knows Ren, too. Ren turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it, but she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue. A statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to lighten her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Ren blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello. There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering about that myself too, just now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. That's pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. They were going that way. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went, as if they weren't important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Ren really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lilly, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Ren at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed, as if bull elephant-grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in place of blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think it's that. The other passerby were probably just worried though. You do look really lost the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some kind of pose in that case. I pondered for a while whether I should chase this angle further or just give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decided on the latter. It seems that most of the time it's better not to read too deeply into what Ren is babbling about. Talking with Ren is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said, even when I win, I lose. Is this the power of the girls of Fumaku? The feminists? I pushed the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. So, if it comes from Kenji and it's about the feminists, it's the truth. You can't dismiss that. The feminists are a real threat that must be taken care of, and only one man can stop them, and you know damn well it's Kenji. Kenji for president. I'm saying that right now. Kenji needs to have some kind of place of political power. He needs it. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here. She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question's consequences or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress, at least. Lilly sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there are some, definitely. The rest will come later. Sure of it. I always have reasons. Ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. Ren's, as far as I can tell, unbased. Assurances aside. What should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are, but it's late and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Ren is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lilly is oddly quiet too. I appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Ren than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Ren is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere, not coming back to the school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock and she drills back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. No? What? Why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. Yeah, it was just an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Ren appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock on my soft drinks. You know, that is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Ren shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come back with us back to the school? Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, a paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Ren considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start toward the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Hey. No, Hisao does have a point. We wasted quite a bit of time in this episode, but with the time, it's almost over. Ren walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her rhythmic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker, and rope dance, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that and a few fragments beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. Quite apart from the relaxing one of the town at that. So how's the mural going? We're going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top of is surprisingly steep, going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and my breathing getting heavier. Almost there. I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I notice Lilly's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder. Interpreting as a gesture that she wants to ask something, I speak up. Anything wrong, Lilly? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything alright? Alright? How do you mean? The fact that I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done the job on me. Lilly noticed it all too quickly. But we're gonna respond to that in the next episode. So until then, I'm reckoning you, the viewer, like your favorite if you liked the video. Comment down below with what you liked about the video, what you didn't like the video, any suggestions you might have, anything of that sort. If you think your friends would like the video, which this one was kind of boring, all things considered. Still, you could share it with them if you want to. And until next time, keep on painting. Yeah. Eventually, I might come up with something better, but I am not creative. I'm just not.